Okay, I clicked on, so here we go. We got some live people. We're going live on all these platforms. It's all
I think we are
exciting.
live
I
now.
think we are live now.
I think we are live now.
Uh,
There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I
ooh.
think we are live now.
Let's go here. Cool.
Let's
I'm gonna be able to see if any chats
see.
coming in here. Open that up. Hey everybody, welcome to day one of the Rise and Thrive Local Get
There
Sales
we
Now Online
go.
Bootcamp.
Awesome.
Excuse me. All
let me
right,
let me
so
clear my throat.
let me clear my throat.
Okay, so I'm just quickly Cheryl, Talia, good morning.
Good morning. Good
How's it
morning.
going, you beautiful ladies? Let us know that you can hear us and everything all right.
Yeah.
If you can, let us know what you're up to so far today. I'm just going to pull this up so I can see comments and everything inside of here.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at comments right now too.
All right, so we are getting ready to
Okay.
drop day one training for our 5-day boot camp. That's this week that you get to go through live with us. So we're
if you're
getting ready to drop that.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, this is your first training with us, my name is Jason Orban. This is
Chandeli.
Chandeli. And we're jumping into this 5-day marketing boot camp here for service-based businesses to help you get more customers locally. So if you serve a local community and you help people around you, this is going to help you help more people.
Sounds good to me. Do you want to just quickly talk about, I don't know if we've done really a video chatting about what we're going to cover in the boot camp. Maybe we could quickly go through that.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple cues that are already starting to come in around marketing specific questions that we can answer.
Yeah,
And
cool.
then we can go from there and see who
So-
jumps on with us.
In the 5-day boot camp what we're going to cover here over the next 7 days. 5 days for the boot camp, then we got a couple extra special things going on at the end that you're going to want to stick around for. Day one is we're going to talk about rising above your competition. That is today. That's what we're going to talk about. And a big part of that is getting clear on who your customers are and what your competition is kind of offering, so that you can stand apart from them and not be kind of drowned out in the noise that's going on social media and all the other platforms and in marketing that people are ignoring. We're going to talk to you about how to get clear on a few things so that your marketing and advertising really does stand out. Day two, we're going to talk about the AIM method, which is the method that we developed here in Think Big Studios to make it really easy for our clients, our students, our customers to create marketing, create their message, create their marketing, get in front of their customers, and build out systems that make it so easy to keep advertising. Day three, we're going to talk about Know Thy Numbers. That's the title that we got for this. Knowing Thy Numbers. We're going to get into analytics. We're going to see what are good numbers, what are bad numbers, how we can, what kind of budget we should have in our marketing, what kind of money we should put behind kind of stuff. And then we're going to show you how to tell if something is working or if something isn't working, so that even if you're not doing your own marketing, let's say you have another company that you're working with or someone who's helping you with your online advertising or radio, print, whatever, we're going to show you how to look at those numbers and say, is this working or not working, so that somebody can't just take your money and run with it. Because that's what will happen a lot of times is you'll have your budget, you won't know what you're looking at. I mean, we've been there in the past. We've had a lot of different businesses. Before we understood all this stuff, we would just give money to whoever came in and they'll be like, okay, well, we can get you in front of 20,000 people. We've got a distribution of 400,000.
Totally,
We're going to do all this kind of stuff. And this is the kind of reach that you're going to get. But there was never any analytics on the back end to say, hey, this is what you actually got, right?
Yeah.
You would kind of just have to try and track things yourself, which was really impossible. If you're running a small business, might not be keeping a track of all those numbers.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about online advertising is that we can track everything, every single number, and down to clicks, views, impressions, sales, emails, phone calls, all that kind of stuff. There's ways to track all that stuff, so you know whether something's working or something's not. It's going to show you where you can trim the fat and how you can get over it, kind of thing.
Totally.
So day 4, let's talk about day 4. Day 4 is going to be your sales system. We're going to talk about, here's the thing. I had a question earlier that was, how much time should you spend marketing in your business, right?
Which is a great question.
Should I spend an hour a day? Should
Yeah.
I spend 2 hours a day? Should I spend 5 hours a day? Should I, and I've gone through a lot of things in the past where it's like, take every Wednesday and just do your marketing on Wednesdays. But as a small business owner, how the heck do you, and especially if you're the service provider yourself, how do you just take one day off a week to do your marketing, right? Once you get into having a bigger team, once you have a bigger people who can help you, that you might be able to have, once you have the systems and processes in place, you might be able to kind of take the time. But that's what we're going to talk about, or that's one of the things that I want to talk about is that as a small business owner, it's not about how much time you have to spend on your marketing. It's, are you building the systems and processes that you need to automate your marketing, to take all that time away so that you can hand it off to someone on your team, or you can hand it off to another company, or you can hand it off to someone who just works for you,
Yeah, exactly.
And they can follow it step by step and get you the results that you need. And then day 5, we're going to bring a whole bunch of stuff together, and we're going to talk about, what the launch looks like. You're going to walk away kind of with a whole blueprint of everything that you can use, whether you're going to use it online, offline, whatever it is. You're going to be so much clearer about who you're marketing to, what that message should be, and how you get in front of your customers, that you're going to take this and run.
Yeah, well, day 5, my goal for you, if you're going to join us on this journey here, this experience, is by day 5, you will be ready to launch something if you want to. If you are clear on each thing that we roll out for you throughout the next 5 days, then on Friday you will be able to pull it all together. And whether you launch using paid traffic, which is my favorite thing, or you just have a more solid plan on your organic social media, or for a newspaper ad, or a mail out, whatever it is that you want, you'll have a very clear customer in mind, service that you want to promote. You got to pick one specific thing, and that's what we covered today in day 1. And then your actual launch plan will be done for you on day 5. We're so jazzed. and then on Monday, June, what is that, the 20,
I think he said 29th.
The 29th, we're gonna throw down a bonus masterclass all about retention, getting more referrals in your business, having a really strong follow-up system so that when you do get new customers in your business, when you do throughout this process over the next 5 days, then you can really capitalize on that and keep people coming back for more without taking a whole lot of work. Your automated follow-up system is so key. So we're going to throw that down a week from today.
Well, that's what they say. Here's the thing. It's 4 times more expensive to advertise to new customers than it is to talk to customers that you already have, right? And I think that's one of the things that a lot of businesses miss, or we just forget about. And I can't tell you how many businesses we talk to who we've asked, okay, do you have a list? Do you have your customers? Do you who are you marketing to? And they're like, yeah, well, we've got a database somewhere.
Especially now.
We got a spreadsheet. We've got an Excel sheet somewhere with names on it somewhere, but we don't really keep track of that kind of stuff.
I think especially right now with a lot of you guys opening back up, things are opening back up, and maybe you did have a list of really strong clients, members, whatever it is. How do you get in front of them right now? Just even let them know what your reopening plan is, or what you offer, what you can offer now. And our passion has always been local business, small business, local business, and I think the general public,
businesses.
I think exactly. Well, because I was a service,
we both were. I mean, we had multiple businesses.
But I think that now more than ever, the general public, they do understand how important it is to support their local businesses. It's just getting in front of them and showing them in the right way what you have to offer. People ignore just the regular, buy this now, it's on sale now, get in on it now. Urgency doesn't work anymore.
Well, there's
People block that out.
I call it like the yellow pages advertising, right?
Yeah.
Or the flyer advertising kind of thing. It's like buy now, right?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work on social media because people have a thing. It's called ad blindness. People don't see that stuff anymore, or they just mentally block it out. They'll scroll past it as soon as they see it.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff for service-based businesses doesn't always work. It works less and less actually.
Yeah.
So when we get into day 2, we're going to talk about the AIM method, and that's really gonna shed some light on a different way that you're going to be wanting to do things.
Totally. The other thing is that we definitely will be covering is paying for your traffic online. And I want to challenge you right now, like not right now, when we're done. Next time you're inside of your Facebook or even your Instagram news feed, take a look. It's very rare that you see a business post show up without it being sponsored anymore.
I almost guarantee that you won't see any posts from a business page in your newsfeed. You'll see stuff from groups. You'll see stuff from friends and family. You'll see stuff from people who you're friends with, from their timeline, stuff that they're sharing. But you no longer see anything from business pages.
No, you don't. It's rare unless you're, there are strategies around that. But really the quickest, easiest thing to do is to like join us inside of our 5-day boot camp. And we're just going to show you exactly what we charge thousands of dollars a month to our clients. We're going to show you exactly what to do.
And the reason why this all works though is because once you're clear on everything that we're going to cover in this 5-day challenge is you can take all this information, plug it into Facebook, and it's going to show you the exact customers that you want, right? You're going to be able to target right down to those exact people and get in front of them. And you'll be so surprised when your phone starts to ring, when messages start to come in, because you are targeting those people. I mean, that's one of the greatest things about Facebook, and everyone's kind of complaining that, Facebook tracks this, Facebook tracks that. I saw another post the other day from somebody saying, I was watching this show on TV the other day, and all of a sudden I'm getting ads for it on my news feed, right? And that's because your phone is listening, anything that you type in, anything that you're looking for, your phone is listening for your interest in what you want.
When's the last time you said that you had a sore back and that you needed to get a massage, and then you went to look at your phone and you saw an ad for that? That's not a coincidence. And now you're going to see that showing up. So anyway, we're going to show you all of that, and it's honestly
the funny thing is, as we said that, my computer popped up and it's like now it's searching for that. Now it's searching for back massage.
It's very, very simple, and you've got a plan in place, and so that's our goal for this free boot camp that we're sharing with you, and so we're super pumped for that. We do have a few questions, like our first Q&A here. Do you want to kick that off? You had a good one that came in this morning around how much time in a day.
Oh yeah. So that was one of the questions that came in this morning, was how much time do I have to spend on my marketing? And I think I kind of touched on this a few minutes ago, but how much time should I spend on my marketing? And here's the thing, as a small business owner, we don't generally have a lot of excess time, especially if we're putting a lot of effort into trying to grow our business, right? So I think when you ask yourself the question of how much time do I have to spend in my business, you're kind of setting yourself up for disappointment and possibly failure, because what's happening is you're saying, I need to work this much for this long, and I need to put that time in. And if I don't put that time in, then I'm failing, right? And the real thing that we need to get clear on, and the real perspective change that we need to have, it's not how much time that we need to spend in our business. How much time should I spend marketing? It's the question is, am I developing the systems and processes that I need for my marketing so that I can make everything go smoothly and fast, and I can then hand that off to someone? Or, I want to run an ad. I know the exact system and process that I need to go through to get clear on my customer, what my messaging is, who I'm talking to, what my numbers look like, and how I
what
launch
your
those
budget
ads,
will be,
what my budget is. I have the exact system and process for doing that. And then now I can take that and advertise on different mediums. And it's not just about like, am I spending every Wednesday marketing my business? So that I hope that answers that question. It's like, once you have the systems and processes in place for your marketing and advertising, things become a whole lot simpler. And it's taking the time to develop that so that it is scalable. If you're just saying, hey, if I'm going to spend 2 hours every day and you keep getting busier, your marketing is going to suffer, because that's one of the first things that businesses put to the side is like, well, we're busy right now. I don't have to advertise and I don't have to market, right?
Totally.
But it's like when things start hitting the, start going downhill, then we're like, okay, well, we need to market, we need to advertise,
exactly.
right? But the thing is, when you have the systems and the processes in place for your advertising, when you have systems automated so you can turn it on when you need customers, turn it off when you don't, you don't have to scramble.
It doesn't take any time.
When things start going down.
It doesn't, when you've got it all dialed in, you actually don't need to spend any time. When you have all of that dialed in, you actually don't even need to spend much time posting organic stuff. And the thing is, too, I think that a lot of people do feel like, oh, time. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to spend, on Instagram or on Facebook or doing all of this stuff. But really, if you just did the odd thing right, like if you had the right messaging and stuff like that, then you would see the return from that so much quicker that time would no longer be a problem for you. You'd be like, yeah, I'm excited to get up and do a little bit of this stuff, because you see the results really quickly when you're doing it properly and you do have those systems in place.
It's not so confusing.
Yeah. And I always remember my days as a stylist and as a salon owner, and thinking about, time was really important, right? Like I did 12-hour days behind my chair. So then thinking about this stuff at the end of the day it's frustrating. It's like, really, I don't have the time or like the energy. It just feels like it's tiring even thinking about it, right? And so, but you would go through spurts. Like I think with local businesses, especially when you provide services, you have really, really comment below and let us know like really busy times. And then times that just all of a sudden slow right down. And so what about creating that consistency all the time, right? Yeah. And Jay, you totally hit it on the head when you said that. Like, then you all of a sudden you're looking and you're like, whoa, I'm not very booked. Like I was really, really busy. And then you look up for a minute to take a breath and you realize I'm not very booked now over the next few weeks. And I know especially with a lot of people in the beauty industry or people that are just opening back up, like massage therapy, whatever it is, any service providers really that were closed over the last little while, they are probably experiencing like they're very busy right now. But in a few weeks or even in, a month from now, what is that going to look like if you're not doing something in the background to be promoting what you offer?
And here's the other question. What happens, let's say, God forbid, that there is a phase 2, right? There is a second wave of what just happened. I mean, everything's opening back up and nobody knows. I know there's other businesses and government systems are putting things in place saying, okay, well, if there is going to be a second wave of this, we're going to have to take a few steps back. But no one is prepared for this right now. But there were a few people that we know of that were just simply able to be like, okay, well, things are getting slow right now. Press a button, turn on their marketing. Their marketing, there was a lot of people who made a lot of money with their businesses when this all happened because they said, okay, well, I can see things starting to get slow now. They literally pressed the button, turned everything back on. And I've talked to a few like realtors. I've talked to like landscaping realtor, like yard care, like tradespeople and everything like that who were all able to be out there. They pressed the button, turned on their marketing, and they're like, we had our best month ever.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, right? So, it's so I think that like, so how much time do you spend? We've gone through so much training and had so many coaches where some say like wake up and spend an hour every morning on your marketing, chunk out all of Wednesday and use that for your marketing. And for us, we've realized that when we put these systems into place, you actually don't need to worry about it. So any other, let me see here.
So another thing I want to talk about here with day one is,
hi everybody.
So important,
I can see everybody popping on.
Like, what am I going to say here? With day one, we're getting clear on who our audience is, right? We're getting clear on who our customers are. And I'm going to tell a story. We had some friends over on last weekend. They came out to visit. It was the first time we've seen people in quite a while, but they came out. We were playing a board game, and the board game, I forget the name of what it was. Remember. But the whole premise of the game was that you somebody asks a question. Let's say Shan asks a question, and then everyone around the table writes down their answer to that question, and then the person next to Shan would read all those questions, and then Shandell would have to pick which one was the funniest. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the game, I looked at the board. I had totally kicked butt, by the way.
Well, you get points if somebody chooses your answer.
So you get 2 points if somebody picks your answer, right?
Yeah.
I had totally kicked butt in this game. I was at least half a board ahead of everyone else when the game was over. And I thought about number one thing that I found from this was nobody thinks I'm funny at all. Because nobody... While my answer got picked all the time, nobody picked me as the person of having the funny answer, even though I was like half a board ahead of everybody. But the thing is, I noticed is that every time I wrote an answer to one of these questions was that I tailored my answer for the person that I was talking to. It wasn't just something that I thought was funny. It was something that I wrote down and I thought that they would think that was funny, right? So if I was writing something for Shandell, I would write something that I thought that she would pick as the funniest thing, right? And the kids were playing and we had a whole bunch of different people and I would tailor my answer differently for each single person who was in the game. And by doing that, I was able to completely win the game, right? And it's not, and now I'm just not talking about board games and how to win whatever game that was we were playing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you tailor your advertising, when you tailor your message, this is the whole point, right? Because I was writing great messages to those people, is when you tailor your messaging to the person that you're targeting, then it's a no-brainer because they're like, they get it, right? You're like, oh, that's the funny one. That's my favorite one. That's the one I want to pick, you know? And it's the same thing in your marketing and your business. When you can tailor your message to the person that you're targeting, then you're going to get way more of those type of customers, right? You're going to win the game. You're going to be a whole board ahead of your competition.
Love it.
when you end the game, right? And here's the funny thing is your customers won't even realize what you're doing to them. No. Right? You'll be a whole board ahead and everyone will be like, well, what's happening? How come they're winning? You know, but it's because you tailored your message to those people. And the same thing works in your marketing. I just took the marketing principles that we use every day and applied it to the board game. Yeah. Right? And that's why it's so important to be clear on who your customer is, what services that they want from you, not what you want to buy, but what they want from you, and how you can sell it to them, what you have to say to get them to resonate. And I mean, we talked about this in the training, but it's going to be, don't do the same thing that all your competition is doing, right? Don't take a look at your industry around you and say like, oh, okay, well, what's Bob doing? You know, what's this other cleaning company doing? What's this other hair salon doing? And taking all those messages and just applying it to your business, because then you're just saying the same garbage over and over. Well,
then it's just basic, right? It's just basic. Like, you know.
No, basic.
Basic.
That's
that
basic.
It is, though. Like, it won't stand out if you're doing the exact same thing as everybody else and your competitors are doing. It's important to like, yeah, that's exactly right. That's what day one inside of the boot camp is all about, is just getting like really clear about messaging. And sometimes it won't be for everyone. And it's also, I think, mindset, like this is where I want to chat about mindset a little bit, is that you don't need to be for everyone. The more that you stand out and be a little bit different and really show where you shine and how you can help one type of customer more specifically, the more business you're going to get. Yeah. And it seems that is like the biggest, that's the biggest, usually biggest shift that we go through with our clients when somebody comes to work with us, is that, yeah, you can serve everybody. You know, yeah, you can. You can most definitely, no matter what it is, I'm sure, serve anyone. But what if you start speaking to actual specific problems or solutions or types of people, you know, a mother with younger children, a mother with older children, right? Like a woman who's retired, they would all probably like your service, but they have different problems or different needs or different desires. Mm-hmm. And so when you start to stand out and speak to those people specifically, I think I've said specifically like 1,800 times.
You specifically said specifically, very specifically.
Yeah. So that is the most important part about marketing for sure. And then not feeling like you're going to exclude people. You know, that's usually the thing that people will say is like, well, but I don't want to like not get those other people as clients or customers. You're just showing that you're an authority and that you're different and that you're better because you're actually thinking about someone's needs.
Right. So what kind of happens with that? It's kind of like you get like a missile that kind of comes down, boom, it hits right here. Those are the people you're targeting, and then you're going to affect all the people around that space, right?
Yeah.
It's going to spread out, and those people are going to hear your messages, and they're going to think to themselves, well, I wonder if that could work for me. Maybe that would work for me. Oh, this person seems really good. I really like that person. Maybe that would work for me too.
Yeah.
So it's going to spread out. When you get very narrow, when you kind of target who you want to speak to, kind of thing, your marketing is going to be way more effective.
Yeah, totally.
But then it's also going to have that effect where it's going to it's still going to talk to all the people that you want to talk to.
Yeah.
But it's just going to they're going to love you more. They're going to say, oh, this person really knows what they're talking about. They're really an authority.
Well, and that's where word of mouth comes in too, right? If you can really carve out your own corner in the marketplace. And I mean, you can throughout our boot camp this week, where we're really asking for you to choose one service, one problem, one customer, and put it all together for your campaign, basically. But you can do that 80 more times and have the whole market covered. That's where, that's where you see huge results for sure.
So the thing is, one second.
Okay. But the thing is that even if I don't have severe back pain, if there's somebody around me who's really promoting that that's what they specialize in helping is back pain, and somebody that I know says that they're having severe back issues.
Well, how many times have you seen on Facebook where somebody's like, I need a chiropractor or I need a massage, who do you guys recommend?
Then you're top of mind. Then that's where word of mouth really does come in, and referrals and things like that. Because even if you're not perfect for me right now, if you're out there saying that you are like the specialist when it comes to whatever that is, then the minute that I know somebody or I need it, then that's what happens, right?
So years ago when we were back in Regina, well, here's one of the things. So, I mean, word of mouth, this whole system is kind of like word of mouth on steroids, right? It's going to take your word of mouth advertising and it's going to make, I call it word of mouth like advertising, type of advertising that's like word of mouth, right? Because that's what social media is. It's a conversation and people are talking, and when somebody comes online and says, hey, who should I go with? And then everybody says this person. They may have never worked with that person before, but they've seen their ads, they've seen their conversations, they've seen all the things going on, and then so they're referring that person. That's the way the human mind works, and that's the way that's the way things go. I mean, remember years ago, I was working with a company, and I said, hey, who do you want to use as a printer? And they picked this one printer that was doing a lot of advertising at the time. And the thing is, they had never worked with that printer before. Yeah. And I'm sure, because I knew that printer was a new printer, but they were putting a lot of money into advertising. So I know that they don't know anybody who actually had worked with them, but because the messaging was the same thing, they were doing organic printing on special paper, on whatever else, and we were working with an organic coffee shop who was doing that kind of stuff. That really resonated with them, with their messaging, right? So when it came time to printing, and I said, oh, who do you want to use as a printer? Here's the 3 companies that we worked with before. They said, hey, I've heard a lot of really good things about this other company over here. Can we work with them? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And I laughed to myself and I said, you know what? That was great advertising. That stuff is working. Yeah. But it wasn't that, oh, I've seen a lot of their advertising. It was that I've heard a lot of good things about them, right? As if he had talked to other people and other customers and consumers out there in the marketplace, and they recommended that business. It wasn't that. It was that he had heard the advertising, just like all of us had heard the advertising at the time, but he heard good things about them.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was just like word of mouth advertising.
Yeah. So there's still time to register. We'll post a link if you want to register so that you can gain access to the trainings that we're going to release every single day. We're going to have workbooks. We're going to have like some swipe files for messaging that you can take and use. Our goal is to make it very quick, so don't worry about your time. You can carve out like an hour a day will be
At
more
most,
than enough.
More, way more.
You
than
know,
enough.
and by Friday, by day 5, you'll have a very clear and completely laid out campaign that you could go and launch and do whatever you want with.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have a blueprint and a framework for one campaign where you're gonna be able to go and target like one of your customers with one of your services and get them to buy because they you're speaking directly to them.
So I think it's about a 12-minute training. If you want to register and jump in on day 1, nice and fresh with us.
Yeah, jump in today.
Then jump in, go through that training, and then let's use this video, this thread, for comments and questions or anything around that. You know, post below. What services do you offer? Who do you serve? What problems do you solve? Mm-hmm. You know, and what are your favorite problems to solve? And let's get clear on that. Day 1, that's it. It's very simple, but I promise if you take the time to do this, you'll see huge things happen.
You're going to be happy.
A week from
you're going to have a big smile on your face.
A huge one.
You're going to be so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I want to point out to you.
Pat on the back.
You don't have to be super techie for this stuff. You know, I mean, in our relationship, I'm the techie guy, but Chandel's the one who runs all our ads, you know?
Yeah.
And we put the campaigns together, but I mean, it's using social media, right? And here's the thing. If you're worried about it, Shan will tell you, she was like, hey, I was a hairstystylist for 20 years, right? I hated computers.
I didn't touch computers. Like I didn't have a clue. And I think the biggest reason why I'm so good at that, at like marketing and running ads, is that I know how to build a relationship. I think it's from doing hair and running a business for so long, is that I understand how people work. I understand, you know, how to resonate with your perfect, who's your favorite dream customer, you know, and then that's how you step up and rise up above. And it's just time right now. It's time for local business to like not just survive, but to thrive.
It's time it's time to put an end to the best kept secrets. Show from your rafter tops, like, I'm here, you know, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, work with me. I can help you, you know.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to help somebody is by actually helping them, and that's what we're going to get into.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And actually, I wanted to add one more thing, that another question that actually somebody asked me the other day on the phone, a friend of mine, is, you know, is it kind of bad to sell right now? Is it kind of, you know, she's feeling awkward about posting what she has and asking for a sale, you know, and really, I didn't think of that. You know, we're in the middle of launching this boot camp. It's free. We want to provide as much value as possible because we want to see you out there growing. But like, the economy can't stop. That's why there's financial help for a lot of people right now. Yeah. We need local businesses in our communities. Imagine if they didn't exist. And there are lots that are closing. Let's get real here. So like, is it bad to sell right now with everything that's going on in the world? Absolutely not. It is important. It's important to definitely provide value, you know, and be, like, I like to say, a light in a dark news feed right now. It's not just like sell, buy, because that won't work right now. It's having the right messaging and the right approach, and making people's lives better. People are ready to go out now. People are ready to shop. They're ready to like go get a massage. They've been waiting for it, but they're also open to new experiences right now too. And so I think it's a great time for any business that serves a local market to really stand up and show that you've got something to offer, and that it's important to support you versus a big box store.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the other thing too. If you have, here's the flip side to this, is that if you have a business where you're super busy right now, if you're super busy and you're looking for customers, or you're looking for staff and you can't find staff, because I mean, that is, I've talked to probably a dozen businesses in the last
Like
week
Yeah.
that all have a very similar problem is I can't find staff who want to work right now. And partly because of that is because people are getting paid to stay home. They're like, okay, well, I don't have to work. I can just collect my check right now and I don't have to go to work. I'm getting enough to get by and that's absolutely fine. But if you want to be able to find better staff and find the people who really do want to work, having a marketing campaign geared towards finding the staff that you want is going to be another huge thing.
Totally. And you can make that your focus this week through the bootcamp. That's a whole other campaign.
That's a whole other campaign.
If that's who you want to attract right now into your business is an amazing new team member to help you grow, then that should be your focus right now,
Mm-hmm.
And there's ways to go about that for sure. Exactly what we're going to cover over the next 5 days. And
apply these principles and you're going to have a great time. Yeah.
I think that's really funny. Okay,
that was good. Okay, well, we're going to sign off.
Yeah.
For the end of day 1, we're going to be launching right away. We're going to be sending out the training for day 1, so you're going to be able to jump into there, go through a few of the things that we all talked about here with a lot more detailed insight into what we're talking about here and some action items that you can do quickly. It's not going to take you that long, probably 15 minutes for the video, 15
minutes to do a little bit of work. Go for a walk and think about it. For today, there's really nothing you need to do other than think about what you want in your business right now.
Nobody has anything to do. No. Carve out some time and do it.
Carve it out. You can do it. You've got time.
You can do it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, all of you that joined us live. If you missed us live, that's all right. Just comment below. Maybe use the hashtag replay so that we can comment along with you. The more interaction and engagement we get from you, the more you're going to learn. There is no question that is a silly question. Trust me, if you're thinking something in your head, I can guarantee you that there's tons of other people inside of this group that have the same question, but maybe feel a little bit awkward asking it. That's why we have a private group, for those conversations. And the more we can serve you guys, always, the better. Yeah.
So I'm going to end off with one thing here.
Yeah.
Marketing is a number one thing that you can do in your business. It's the way that you get customers in. It's the way that you keep customers around. It's the way that you generate money. If you don't have customers, you don't have money coming in, you don't have a business, right? So think about it from that point. If we can say, hey, marketing is the number one thing we can do in our business so we can keep growing, so we can keep paying our bills, so we can keep doing all the things that we love to do and have the lifestyle that we want, do some marketing.
Yeah. The right type, the right type of
marketing. Don't just throw your money against the wall and flush it down the toilet and say bye-bye. Don't burn it, light it on fire. No, let's do stuff that works. Let's do stuff that works.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Have
a really great rest of your day, and we'll chat soon.
Bye.